Okay, so now let's plot the ROC curve, and remember ROC curve is sensitivity on the y-axis and 1 minus specificity on the x-axis. Curve is 1 minus specificity okay, and let's look at it. So y-axis is sensitivity, which is that, right? So let's first plot the y-axis, and this has to be a scatter plot. So you cannot do a line plot for this. Okay, so that's our y-axis. Okay. Now the x-axis is the 1 minus sensitivity. This is column D up to that. Okay. So sensitivity on the y-axis, 1 minus specificity on the x-axis. Okay. So that gives you one line. So this is our classifier line, the line that represents the classifier. Okay, so let's call this ROC curve for riding over. Right? So here let's format the x-axis from 0 to 1, okay, because 1 minus specificity is a probability. So it has to go from 0 to 1, and the number of decimal places, let's keep it at 1. Okay. Now same with y-axis. Y-axis is sensitivity, and that's a probability as well, and therefore has to be between 0 and 1. Let's keep the decimal places 1. Okay. All right. So this is for our classifier. Now we have to draw a diagonal line for our naive method, so we can compare, right? So to draw the naive line, okay, so let's do an x-axis value and a y-axis value. Okay, so this is our or benchmark, naive line, and that's our benchmark, right? So it should go from x equal to 0 and y equal to 0, which is from there, to x equal to 1 and y equal to 1, which is there. So this is going to give us the diagonal line. So highlight the graph, go back to select data. Okay, so now we have to add a new line. Okay, so here the x-axis is that, and the y-axis is okay. All right. So this one, we'll call it random. Okay. So this one is classifier. So let's put the legend, let's say bottom or top. Okay, so now we have the ROC curve for riding over. This is your random classification. The blue line is the classifier that we used which we haven't gone into the classifier itself, the classifier that was used to generate these probabilities. So the classifier used to generate these probabilities is definitely a much superior classifier model than simply randomly assigning owner and non-owner.